All right, so Jamal Murray decided to have his flu game in Game Six. Julian Strawford decided to go off, and now we're in Game Seven, which I don't think anyone expected. I thought personally the series was going to be like 4-1 Thunder, 4-2 Max, but here we are. So let's talk about the game. So I was getting home from the gym and having Chipotle and eating ice cream, protein ice cream, if you were wondering, during the first quarter. So I didn't really see much of it, but I'm gonna play a clip from that first half, of what basically summed up the Oklahoma City Thunder shooting in the second half, because that will be the only thing that will be talked about for the rest of this time, or not time, but until Game Seven. But goddamn, they struggled in the second half of shooting. It was just fucking horrible. They couldn't make a shot to save their life. There was also another play in the fourth quarter where it was either fourth or third, where Jalen Williams, the small forward, had a wide open dunk and completely missed it. It was just one of those nights. So I believe this is where the end one comes in. All right. So watch here, right? Jokic gives it to Braun in the middle. And then we have a double team with Homegrown Shea. Doris boxing out Porter. Gordon's wide open. He gets the ball here. It's going to kick out the Jamal, right? Watch Dort and Hartenstein. They both run sprint over. Dort pushes Hartenstein into Murray, and it becomes like an and one for a 4-point play. That pretty much summarizes the game for OKC tonight. Pretty much this was just a fucking horrible, I mean, absolutely fucking horrible shooting night. They really struggled against the 2-3 defense pretty much in the second half by Denver. And this is probably the most zone or zone man, whatever the combination is, because sometimes the zone looks like a man, and I think it is to a degree, even though it looks like a zone. But this is the most zone I've ever seen in an NBA game in my life. This looks like fucking middle school basketball where you're just facing against a much talented and better team. I'm using my middle school basketball experience for example. Don't worry, I was ass. And it's just we have to run 2-3 to save our life. This is what it felt like against the Nuggets, but it actually fucking worked because fucking Murray has this flu game. And then shout out Julian Strawford, man. He fucking went off in the second half. Three pointers, 4 for 8, 15 points, made all his free throws. He's pretty much the reason why I think Denver, when this is going to Game 7 primarily. But let's not count up Jokic. Brown had a really good Game 6. Gordon didn't shoot the best, but he still made an impact. He was kind of playing like the Draymond Green role, not like in Denver style, but not like anything else. Porter had a good shooting night, but he probably would have been on the floor to close of the game. It's just the fact that Julian Strawther was just that good that he had to be on the floor. Peyton Watson played really good defense in this game. He went 1 for 7 from the field, but he just played really good defense. I wonder with him, right? I wonder if you could put him on Holmgren for Game 7. Like if you get in trouble with Jokic or something, could he play those big man minutes? I think he could. Personally, if there were still big men out on the floor, he could. Is he like 6'8", 6'9"? What? How tall is he? He's 6'7". All right. So not against Hartenstein too much, but if you wanted to put him against Holmgren, you probably could in this series. Probably some downsides to it, but overall, the only real like stinker, not stinker, but like just mid game was from Westbrook. Westbrook did give some good energy, good defense, but he wasn't really like the standout off the bench. And to think that Julian Strawford would cause a Game 7 is fucking wild. That's fucking wild. But overall, they shot 84% from the line. They got what they had to get done. 37% from three, 46%. Field, they pretty well, and we're on to Game 7 event. Now, the Thunder. So I'm gonna go over a little bit more about the game, but I'm just gonna go over the Thunder real quick, and after before I get into some game observations. But they did not shoot well tonight. They didn't shoot well from three. Specifically in the second half, they only had 21 points and like fucking 11 points before they almost came back and Denver almost collapsed and never lead. But luckily, we don't have to talk about that. How the Thunder almost made the Nuggets a meme again. But I'll lay the rest on that. Jalen Williams played ass tonight. Jalen Williams just played outright ass. Sure, he had the rebounds, and sure he was playing doing a lot of playmaking. But man, you can't go 3 for 16 and 0 for 4. I get the looks you weren't getting were the best, but man, that's just a piss poor performance. That's just not good enough. I like being positive. I don't like shitting on guys too much, but this was just not good enough. I think he knows that, but you can't do that, man. You cannot be this fucking garbage, especially um 3 for 16. That's just not good enough. Also, Isaiah Joe and Wiggins didn't give him anything tonight. They missed their combined 6 3-point shots and only made 2 field goals combined. So they didn't play well. Case and Wallace had a good first half. He was really good, and then second half he barely did anything. Caruso, pretty much was in the second half channeling his own Dennis Rodman. He played pretty well. Um, Lou Dort did fine. Hardenstein pretty much was playing baseline dunker. If not for Denver constantly fucking up in their 2-3, leaving him wide open in a dunker spot, he would probably have finished with 2 points. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. And then Chet, he missed a couple of crucial threes at the end. His shot just felt off. I'm surprised he finished 2 for 7. It felt like he didn't make anything, but he wasn't good from a 3 foot line either. And I did not think he made 2 3-pointers because some of the I get like Michael Porter Jr. having a couple air balls because of his shoulder. Chet had at least like 5 air balls. It was fucking ridiculous just how bad his shooting was. What is his shooting percentage? Like just genuinely, 37. I mean that's fair. 2 divided by 7 is like probably 30 or something. 28. Okay, I'm way off. But anyway, yeah, Chet just felt like he got a lot of his buckets at the end, just like a lot of the Thunder players. Because before the run, they were all playing pretty bad. If I take out everything from what 109 109 to 13, like what was made? Shea got a field goal. Joe got a dunk. Joe did jack shit until they started playing press. Was this the Shea? Okay, Chet finally made a shot. Chet made that. So this was basically okay. All right. So they did have some good moments, but overall, it wasn't the greatest game. Just not good looks. They looked like they struggled in 2-3 at times, and yeah, the Thunder. Simply put it, I think Jalen Williams did not play good enough to win this game at all. And if your bench is not firing all cylinders, especially in this game where Jamal Murray is playing his ass off, Brown's doing well. I keep fucking mispronouncing his name, and Straffer is just saying fuck it. I'm gonna fucking be prime Steve Kerr off the bench. You're just fucked. And now with Game 7, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I would give the edge to the Thunder, but I don't know. Like I genuinely don't fucking know. In this series, if I'm correct, they fucked that up. This was another close game. Okay, they've done better in close games. Okay, if this is not a blowout by the Thunder, they're 2 for 3 in close games this series. So I genuinely don't know what's gonna happen. If it's a blowout for the Thunder, fair play to them. But yeah, I think they know this performance just wasn't good enough to win this game. They just shot horribly in the second half, and as a result, we're going back to OKC for Game 7. Now I want to give a couple of game notes. Pretty much just what the game was about. So Shea and Hardenstein and Williams all got into foul trouble in the second quarter, which didn't really help their rotation. I think if Shea was available on the floor more, maybe they could have gotten a bit better looks and probably won this game and not have a really shitty third quarter that they did. But it is what it is. Another thing that I think really fucked up the Thunder game plan, besides just shooting absolute fucking horribly, it's just their defensive lapses. I think there was there's 2 examples I have, but there had to be at least 5 or 6 examples of them just giving way too easy shit. Denver had this problem as well, but it's only like 2 or 3 of them just not being aware of where people were and just having complete defensive lapses, defensive miscommunication, and specifically in the second quarter, the Aaron Gordon dunk and completely leaving Brown open for 3 in the corner off the inbounds pass. They just had a lot of fuck ups defensively this game. And if they want to win Game 7, they can't keep having that. Same with Denver, they had a few. But you can't just go out there and just play like that. Like, you just can't. Like, that's just not good enough. Um, is there anything else I have? Because I don't know if there's anything to say other than just the Thunder fucking sucked in the second half. Because this was it was 61-58 Thunder at the end of the half, and oh, I feel it felt like the game switched hands when the Nuggets went on their run at the end of the second quarter before the Lou Dort three, excuse me. But yeah, man, I don't know what else there is to say other than the Thunder just fucking sucked. They were shooting, but they just couldn't make jack shit to save their life, and they were just having so many defensive mislapses. They didn't deserve to win this game. They just didn't. I don't know if there's anything else for me to say other than that. Like I don't know if I can give any other information. Um, yeah, I am curious for Game 7. Um, if Denver run how much zone they run, because 60% of their defense it felt like, or this could be even higher if there's a stat out there. It was them either running 2-3-1-3-1 or a man zone combo. Now, when I say man zone combo, I'm talking when it looks like zone, but it's man, like that type of thing. I think Thinking Basketball did a video on this. I'm crediting him for that because that's how I know that. But there's a lot of times where the Thunder just I don't know if the Thunder look confused, but man, they just fucking sucked in the second half. There's not much to say other than just they just didn't play well. Um, yeah. Also, one other note I have, and this has something to do with the game, but this is not something that's like related to it much, but it is something worth noting. Um, what the Nuggets remind me of is like back in the mid 2000s, where when everyone used to shit on the Spurs for just doing Tim Duncan post up, have four shooters in the corner just waiting. Fucking Nazir Muhammad or David Robinson's in the dunker spot. He just plays post up. He waits someone. He waits for someone to just run over and cause a double team. He passes out and they get a three. It just feels like that. I feel like if the Nuggets were played in the mid 2000s, everybody would fucking hate them because they do the exact same thing the Spurs are doing right now. Like it just literally looks like that. Like they're different game plans, but it just almost gives me that vibe. Like that's I don't know what else to compare it to, but it just reminds me of that. And one final thing before I'm gonna cut it loose and see you guys tomorrow for Knicks and Celtics. I hope Knicks win that just for their sake. If OKC's run at the end, if they actually made it happen right and they got it right, if they um actually pulled off that comeback, I could not imagine the shit that would be said on Twitter after this game. Like I already know there's been shit said about the Thunder for having a horrible second half on Twitter. I don't know if there's anything on, but yeah, we man, I know Urinate and Tree would have had so much fucking fun with the Nuggets collapse if they lost Game 7. If shit like that happened, bro, that would have been fucking insane if they actually pulled that off. But yeah, that's all I have. We're gonna see what happens in Game 7. Hopefully, Jalen Williams doesn't play as bad as he did in this game. I do think the Thunder are still the better team, although I think after this series, the Nuggets have shown that they still do have five key guys. Like they're still going to be a contender. They just have to find. They're gonna have to look at. I don't know if Nuggets future draft picks. I'm getting a bit off topic. I'm sorry, but I just want to talk about basketball for a second because that game was great. I gotta go watch Stars versus Jets after this and hockey. But oh, they have Orlando's first round pick. Oh shit, they can probably do something with that. Damn, they might. Denver might get a number piece this offseason. They can replace Westbrook if he leaves, or he just doesn't, or they can't resign him. But uh, Nuggets. Wait, do they not have their pick? Or am I fucking stupid? Oh no, they don't have their pick. Do they have a second? No, they don't. They don't have any picks in this draft. All right, never mind. Forget what I just said. Yeah. I think even with this loss, The Nuggets have proved that Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther of their future in terms of being key role players. They're definitely going to have to find someone in the future. Their next Russell Westbrook in free agency, but other than that, there's not much to say in this game. Other than just the Thunder just sucked in the second half, and we're on to Game 7. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow for our next Celtics, and we'll figure out where to go from there. So peace.